Okay, hello. I hope that this time it works. This is like the third time I'm recording this because my computer keeps crashing. So I'll try to make it quick. This is the list that I used to get top four at this Sunday's Latin America Online Treasure Cup. Um, so yeah, I got top four playing RP Law. This list isn't exactly the one I ran. Actually, I had 3 Quinn and 1 Missile Sunday, but I wanted to run 4 Quinn. I didn't have the fourth one, and I actually didn't even have 4 Ain. I had only 2, so I replaced the other 2 for 2 Beppo. But I actually really like that change, so I don't regret doing that. Actually, the Missile Sunday didn't come up in any of the games, so it was all good. I guess it's a pretty standard RP Law list. I wanted to talk about a little bit. I wanted to talk a little bit about the deck. Um, like I said, nothing crazy weird on the deck list, but I wanted to talk about the merits pretty much of running 8 Gordon instead of 7, which I would say is the standard. Also, the merits of Zorojuro as a 3-drop. I like going first with this list, with the deck in general. That's the reason we're running 6 3-drops. I think Chopper is better than Shiraya. Shiraya is definitely good into Black Yellow Luffy. But if Black Yellow Luffy is not killing your Shiraya with like the Luffy, like the astronaut Luffy or the Egghead Luffy or whatever people are calling it right now, then I guess you're in a pretty good spot to win anyways. It's very hard that you play Shiraya and it actually lives. It's not like the previous set where Shiraya actually had a pretty good shot at not instantly dying into Black Hole Luffy. And Chopper has a lot of upside. He's pretty much a must kill in the mirror, so he's good there. Obviously, very good into Bonnie. Surprisingly good into Bonnie because you can actually use it to swing into Cavendish, into Basil Hawkins. And even if he doesn't survive a turn, he's just a blocker, just like Shiraya. And to be fair, Shiraya is pretty much not living any attack anyways if you're using him to block. He doesn't swing for 5 for free, which is a downside, obviously. But I think that the fact that you can just turn 2 Dawn into a Gordon effect for free, it's just too strong on the Chopper. So I much rather recommend playing Chopper over Shiraya. Additionally, well, for Zorojuro, I think out of the 4 cost cards that ramp you, meaning Beppo, Ain, and Zorojuro, and Bunclay, I think Zorojuro is the second most important one. Obviously, I think Bunclay is crazy. He's banned in the mirror, but he's insane in every other matchup. A must-kill card. Typically swings for like 9 when your opponent plays Moria and can't remove it. Sometimes you play 2 at the same time, and it's pretty much GG into mostly anything. Crazy good into Reiju. Not that the deck needs more help in the Reiju matchup, but still. And Zorojuro, I think, is flat out better than Ain. I would run 6 of him, maybe 8 if I could. On the mirror, he doesn't die without your opponent committing a Gordon. He frees up a Dawn when compared to the 4-drops. He attacks and the Dawn that you get comes up for free. Sometimes you want to swing into Black Hole Luffy and you don't want to give them the opportunity to take a life. You can just swing for 4. Pretty crazy. He's a must kill for Lucci as well. If he doesn't kill it, he can just snowball out of the game. And Beppo is sort of like an intermediate point between Ain and Zorojuro. He's worse than Zorojuro. He's worse than Ain, definitely. But he has counter, and it's actually very relevant. I think running a 2-2 split is pretty good. I don't like overloading on non-counter cards in this deck because sometimes you draw a lot of Gordons. And I think it's good to free up space for non-counter cards whenever you can, because you definitely want to be running 4 Kid Killer and you definitely want to be running 8 Race Max / Gordon. And the reason you want to do that is because you can actually, like, if you draw multiples of them, you can just use them in insane ways. Like, you can actually just use in the mirror, the more Gordons you draw, the better you are set. Of course, if you only draw Gordons, then you're in trouble. But running 7 is not going to prevent that anyways. And for starters, you pretty much want to draw one of them at least in every single matchup. But even if you're playing, I guess maybe except Nami, but it's not like you need help in that matchup anyways. But even if you're playing into like an L, where Gordon is typically more of a dead card, you can just use 2 to remove Yamato. You can use 3 to remove Ace. You can use 1 or 2, not use leader ability, and start swinging into your opponent's like tap Katakuri or something like that. I actually played 1 NL in my tournament run to get 4th. I only lost the finals against Black Yo Luffy. I played into an NL, and I actually bottom decked 2 Yamatos and 1 Katakuri throughout the entire match. And the fact that you're running 4 Queen helps you filter the Gordons that you don't need. It helps you filter the Bonclays in the mirror. It helps you filter the Ains when it's the late game and you don't want to have dead cards in your hand. Helps you see the kit clearers faster. And I guess the only card I wanted to talk about, other than the ones I mentioned earlier, is Queen. I originally was running only 3 of them, and I was running like a couple Missile Sundays, and I used to think Missile Sunday was better, but Queen is just, it has a lot of unseen power built up into the card. The fact that it pretty much cantrips when you play it is insane. Of course, Missile Sunday does that as well, and Queen doesn't ramp you, but Queen blocks. And that essentially means that, and he swings 6, so this is very important into Black Yo Luffy especially, because if you manage to play like 2 blockers every turn, even if you're at 0 life, Black Yo Luffy is not going to kill you, and you can pretty much stall the game forever. The fact that Queen costs 5, obviously the same as Missile Sunday in that situation, but the fact that Queen costs 5 makes it hard for Lucci to deal with it, unless they have obviously stage and things like that. But it's hard for Lucci to deal with Queen. Essentially, into the Lucci matchup, if Lucci doesn't kill the card, it blocks an attack every single turn for free because Lucci wants to use all dawn to remove your board. And the card is just so powerful, and the card filtering is obviously very, very good as well. The fact that you draw first and then you discard, again, crazy good. It helps you see your Ray Juice, which is the best card in the deck. So yeah, I would recommend running 4 Queen, even if you're not doing it. I would actually venture to say, I think in most purple decks, Queen is better than Kid, like 5 cost blocker Kid. But I even think in RP Law, Queen is better than Kid, I think, after playing the deck for a while. However, having said this is not an in-depth guide because I don't think I'm an RP Law master or anything like that. I just did well at a tournament. I wanted to share the success, and I wanted to share my deck list and the things that I learned about the deck. But that's the reason why this video is a lot shorter, and it doesn't have like any specific matchup recommendations or things like that. It's just me talking about the deck. And additionally, this video is not featuring any gameplay because the OPTCG ladder switched to post-ban format, and unfortunately, I guess I could play this deck into like a random person in the sim, but I'd rather upload videos playing against opponents that I know are very good at the game and that they are on top of the ladder, so that you guys can see what the deck actually looks like when you're playing against a very good opponent. Not to criticize the people that are playing random sim games but I don't know. It's just the type of content I like to make. When I make a guide, I'd like to make it a very in-depth guide where I played at the very least like hundreds of games with a deck. I've tried out a lot of different deck lists. And right now, unfortunately, the fact that the ladder changed to post-ban meta makes it so that it's hard to do that with RP Law. But I am playing this deck in locals, and I'm doing very well. Obviously, I did well at the Treasure Cup. So if you have any questions about the deck, if you want to discuss what cards to run, what cards not to run, maybe you just want to pop in the comments and say, no, I think Chopper is a terrible card or whatever. I'm more than happy to to discuss those things with you. I try to reply to every comment. I am trying to make more content, but making quality content takes time, and I really like uploading things that I'm proud of. But even taking that into consideration, I hope you subscribe to my channel. I hope you like this video. Feel free to comment. Like I said, I try to reply to every comment. And hopefully I'll see you around in my future videos. Thanks for watching.